So let's take you back to the story now and speak to Dr Mphumeleli Ngidi. And this, of course, is around the Battle of Isandlwana, and he's the history lecturer at the University of KwaZulu Natal. Dr Ngidi, I hope you can hear us now. Thank you so much for joining us. For someone who doesn't understand the significance of Impi Isandlwana, let's explain it to them, particularly when you look at the importance of marking this historic event each year.
Good afternoon to you and to the listeners at home. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The Battle of Isandlwana in 1879, January 22, is a landmark victory for the Zulus against the British. We should take into consideration and remember that in 1843, the British annexed what we call Natal, what was called Natal, or what we call now the province of KwaZulu Natal. So the British was slowly advancing into the territory of the Zulus. They firstly occupied the area where there's Durban now, and also where there's Pietermaritzburg, just south of Umzinyati River, and on the northern part, the Zulu kingdom was still in existence there. So the British Empire wanted to extend its the territories. So by this time, in 1879, King Cetshwayo was the leader, the king of AmaZulu, of the AmaZulu nation. Mm-hmm. So on the back, the British were defeated, and it was a landmark victory not only for South Africans but against colonialism.
And
yes.
Pardon me, Dr. Ngidi, for coming in there. When we then talk about this annexation, it is no surprise then that when we listen to Isilo Namhlanje talking about, this particular event and the significance of it, and he says, and I'm borrowing from him, ngaphandle komhlaba akukho siyokwenza futhi sikhumbule ukuthi umhlabathi uyingubo kaZulu kumele siuvikele. And these were words that were also echoed by his late father, King Goodwill Kwazelitin. So it's not a surprise that then he brings in the issue of umhlaba and the importance of it, therefore.
Yes, yebo kunjalo. The important, all the fights in most instances from the battle of the Voortrekkers against King Dengane in the late 1800s, I mean in the late 1830s, was the fight over land. And also, when the British annexed the land, they wanted the benefits of the land, which is the economic value of the land. They've already occupied Natal. That is why by 1860, in 15 November, the first ships from Calcutta for delivering the Indians who were going to work as indentured laborers came into Natal because the British government had the economic intentions and also the annexation of land desires. So the fight over at Isandlwana was a battle for land. The Zulu nation was defending Israel, and also what we should also take into consideration when we talk about this land, the land issue, it's also that the British Army did not only have people, the white people. Kwakukhona nabantu abasebediniwe ababexoshwe uShaka during his reign. So these people supported the British. So the British had a large number, more than the Zulus, because they were also Zulus and kings who supplied the British with AmaButho. So there are also Zulus, and these Zulus, to differentiate between the Zulus of the Zulu kingdom and these Zulus who were fighting for the British, they had to wear the red cloths, emakhanda, so that bezobonakala ukuthi laba bangathina, laba ilaba abangale kuZulu. So the fight was more over the land. It was a land issue. EThuZulu umhlaba wethu sizolwela kade sasulwela lo mhlaba sizolwela against the British.
And when then we look at AmaButho who were fighting for uZulu at the time and not the others who were on the other side, they've been lauded for what they did, because this is a battle that stunned the world. It was unthinkable that a Zulu army could be able to then do this. Some are decrying the fact that there isn't a museum, there isn't enough being done to preserve this part of the history. Is enough being done though to ensure that it lives through generations?
I think they are the museum. They are there, and also what is needed to be done is that they need to invite more public in these museums, because the museums are there. There is the art and culture here in KZN, and there is the Amafa Institute, which is governing those archive centers. What is needed is that the public should be invited more, not only on the 22nd of January, because this was an important victory, as Dr Usho ukuthi stand the whole world. The Zulus had a few guns, but the strategy of war that they used, it was made them to win. But what I'm trying to say is that the government can do better, especially the archive centers, art and culture, to invite the public yes.
And when you talk about the strategy, I wish we had more time, because, just that strategy alone, it always, gives one goosebumps, because you just think about that ambush of, 20,000 men who were sitting silently. But let's wrap it up and talk about the presence of former President Jacob Zuma. Some have said this is significant. What did you make of it?
Jacob Zuma is a Zulu, despite being a former president. He's a Zulu, a staunch Zulu person. I also remember that he once said that Wage Wabutho is part of AmaButho. So he has been around the festivities of the Zulu kingdom, including gay cats, Jacob Zuma has always been there, being supportive in the affairs of the Zulu kingdom. I was very excited to see him there as a political figure, and also as a person who's a Zulu and interested in the history and the reservation of the Zulu customs and rituals.
All right, Dr. Ngidi, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and just giving, just the viewers a sneak peek of why this is important, because others, seem to not understand why the importance of marking this day each and every single year. Thank you so much for that. That is Dr. Mphumeleli Ngidi, a history lecturer at the University of KwaZulu Natal.